Hey everyone, it's Will, GamerDad, with another video for you. So in today's video, we're going to actually try the newest dungeon that's unlocked after finishing the side episode, which is just released recently. Now, if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. I also do have a Patreon account for those who want to support me this way. So this is my very first time coming in, so forgive me if I'm not quite as efficient as I normally would be. I decided to try to bring some story characters and see how we are. And let's take a look at the rules. And I guess we can get these items. In this case, I will try the very hard level 70. Keep in mind that I actually do not have any Grasta on. So this is going to be a little bit tougher for me. Obviously, we're going to try to explore everything and see what we are. And the reason why I went with no Grasta is I know a lot of you might be wondering how difficult it would be without anything. And so we're going to try it and just see how we are. In this case, I'm a little bit nervous, but we'll see. Now, that being said, we're going to try a few different moves here. And let's see. Okay. Now, obviously, having no access will help a lot. Remember that once you have farmed him enough and you've done the dungeon, you will get something called detonators. And I believe after getting him, which is 2.5 complete runs of the maze, you will then have access to him. And the more detonators you have, the more of his fixed damage you get from his what they call a single shot. So even with the boost of Pride of Miglins, it doesn't give any extra damage. But you know what? Being that is essentially like a free farming unit, it's not even bad. Okay. Now that being said, I'm going to do all 5 fights. I would recommend, obviously, if you have a more powerful team, you might as well use that. This is definitely not needed to, to suffer like this. But even at level 70, you can see it's not really going to be an issue. I think MP might be a little more of an issue. And I would certainly recommend if you have Grasta or if you have badges that increase the number of encounter, you should do so. Note that the sparkles were definitely clearly marked on the map, and so it'd be easy to find those, whereas the chests, you do have to kind of find those. Also keep in mind that I'm assuming that there'll be the same thing, 5 mob battles per area for a total of 15 mobs in 3 areas. There will probably be rare areas as well. I do like the fact that you can choose between hard and very hard once you enter the dungeon, because when you first look at it, it doesn't look like anything. Now, it looks like all the enemies are essentially weak to fire and thunder, and so if you have obviously some of the existing units from the newest chapter, or Leia, or obviously ESMU, those thunder attacks will do very, very well. You can also see that you are gathering points, which I'm assuming are linked to rewards, and so make sure you get all the sparkles. And of course, that fixed 200,000 works really well with no access. Again, I am working on still kind of finishing up content as I'm grinding through all the maze things, and so I do apologize for not having all the character quests or 5-star reviews out. It has been quite a long weekend, and like I said, I am spending a lot of time in the time-twisted maze. Let me know in the comments below how your runs have been going. I believe I finished it 5 times, and I think I have 7 detonators total. Or is it 8? Can't even remember. But you can see that with the number of detonators, you're already getting 200,000 fixed damage with no access as a farming move, which is pretty darn good, honestly speaking. Now, obviously, at level 70, if you don't have any Grasta or specialized weapons, it's going to be a little bit of an issue. Now, keep in mind, I am using either prismatic or similar type weapons. You can also have really high-end weapons that you can farm from the time-twisted maze. So as long as you have a full team of hopefully 5 stars, and if you have them at level 80, even better, right? But you can see my team's level 80 with the exception of Nona, which is obviously still locked as a 4-star. Now, one other thing to note is I'm not sure if this one farms light or shadow for no access or for Nona. So if anyone knows, please let me know in the comments below as well. There you go. And clearly, obviously, 200k is more than enough to clear the mobs here. All right. So again, we're just bringing a team that's similar to the storyline. Obviously, I don't have ESMU, so ESMU will have to do the trick for now, and that's obviously going to be more than enough. I do like the fact that No Access does have a 0 MP farming move. I think it only allows 1 move per battle, but hey, that being said, 200,000 fixed damage is like a free version of Tiramisu. I know a long time before, Tiramisu was highly vaulted for being able to farm things very quickly and easily. However, at this point, I don't think anyone's having any trouble farming mobs at this point, unless you're very, very new to the game. And even so, remember that since the time twisted nade only takes time, you can't say it's really difficult at this point, because really everyone starts at the same level, which is level 1, and you grind your way through. So as long as you're willing to put in the time and effort, you can get No Access after a number of hours, and obviously get more detonators as you do multiple runs through the dungeon, such that you'll have everything you need. So that is a really good way for people newer to the game to get a very powerful farming unit instead of having to spend paid or free stones. That being said, obviously I'll have to experiment more with No Access to see if he fits on any sort of kind of end game meta team. He looks like to be a blunt wind unit, and so I'm sure he won't be the most powerful, being that wind slash is a thing, obviously, with the likes of Kikyo or Melissa and so on and so forth. And obviously, if you're talking like blunt, you don't have to use him and your main DPS. But that being said, nice complementary piece for farming, and like I said, especially for newer rosters, instead of having to slog through some of the older content. I think any story content can be cleared with No Access as a farming. Because if you think about it, look at my damage. Obviously, my Aldo is 255 light, and he is using Ogre Rancorum light, which obviously does require, I'll say, a moderate difficulty optional boss fight. But that being said, if you are still new to the game, remember that prismatic weapons are relatively easily farmable through the complex screen, as long as you're, again, willing to run it over and over again. So it's more of a matter of time as opposed to actually truly gated by difficulty, which is really, really nice. I mean, in the past, I would say, if you watch some of my early videos with Another Eden, man, oh man, oh man, that content was really difficult, especially things like the Other Lands, and some of the encounter fights with only 1 or 2 5-stars and very limited power. It was essentially near impossible without spending money. I would say that it was very difficult, and I think it's much more enjoyable now that we have time to kind of make life easier for the ones who are coming for the first time. Okay, so let's see what kind of damage it takes to do it. Again, obviously it is weak to fire. Oh, actually, it's weak to thunder. Okay, so weak to thunder. And okay, whatever. Let's just see if we can do anything. If not, I'll have to reset. So hopefully not too much. Otherwise, I'm going to have the AF here. Okay, I guess we'll AF then. Okay, not too bad. So I only did 6 million, and keep in mind, remember, no Grasta setup at all. Although, like I said, we do have some level 60 gear, and we also have, I used a couple of the, I guess the highest level maze weapons, which you can find in the dungeon if you're fortunate enough to get those jeweled OOP arts. Other than that, look at, you can see that Light is able to get the 3 reward lines. Not much of note. I guess you will be farming this for the materials to kind of unlock other content in the game. So here's the setup. I used Judgment Bracelet, nothing special. Again, no Grasta. So hopefully this gives you an idea of what the difficulty is at level 70. I'm imagining level 50 is going to be even more easily, and there you go. Anyways, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.